Right, welcome back. Last time we just finished the African War in its entirety. Yeah, first not the commune, the Entente was defeated, so the various African nations are split between myself, Spain, and the UK. Whereas these are all distributed among the US. The various nations that were once a part of Central America. Seems to still dealing with Cuba. Yeah. Oh, and Britain has Haiti. Yeah. So yeah, now we're focused on finishing the European war because all that's left is it's Germany, as well as Madagascar and, well, the European stuff, as well as Madagascar and Djibouti, which can be safely ignored for the most part, at least for now. Especially since a lot of locations, the amount of troops that are sitting here has heavily reduced, so it should be a lot easier to make progress. Especially since several naval invasions have successfully managed to do their thing. Especially after Finland capitulated. So having a lot easier time handling things, and I'm sending troops over to assist in certain areas. I'm also hoping to get rid of these divisions because and Ukraine went ahead and decided to swap to radical socialist. Good on them. They knew which way the wind blew. Just gotta get major cities. Take up your arms, Ukraine, for the revolution. They know which way the wind's blowing. believe everything's that I'm interested in has been claimed already, so. Or is in dispute. Well, yeah, already been claimed. Didn't really feel like dealing with anything over here, so. The USA got the brunt of the states. Well, it's time to bring the troops back into a... well, preferable positions, probably. At the lag spike, so... maybe? Probably? If it doesn't end up crashing the game in the process. Computer's certainly beginning to... yep, it was enough. Well, I've got some very specific demands. They involve Central Asia. I can get Kazakhstan later, hopefully. What was the Kazakh border again? I do know one thing, it's actually rather... non-specific. Because I also grab large portions of Siberia too. I'm taking Uralsk. I think that's everything. Does it? That counts. Counts well enough. And I could probably just end the game from there. What's this? For centuries, the winds of the great seas of the Nanhai and the Pacific blew to the Middle Kingdom, paying tribute to the great civilization state of China. The winds of fate also allowed tens of thousands of Chinese expatriates to seek new fortunes and homes across Asia, building diasporic communities in Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam, and Thailand. Everywhere they went, connecting Chinese people far and wide despite regional and cultural differences. Truly, China's place in the world is in Asia. For the last century, however, this has not been the case. We have been humiliated utterly, not only by the Western imperialists who tore apart the nations of the East under their banner of colonialism, but also against the Japanese woku, who took advantage of our decaying state to pursue their own imperialistic ambitions. In our absence, the ever-burning cultural hearth of East Asia seemed to dim out, and darkness covered our what was once maritime bliss. Now, things are different. The Chinese Kuomintang has led the Chinese peoples to pursue their salvation from imperialism, and in doing so, were able to proclaim the Republic of China, a new revolutionary and socialist republic free of imperialist influences. It is with this strength that the Army, Navy, and Air Force of the Chinese Republic have been able to liberate and free thousands of our Central Asian comrades, of our fellow Asian comrades across Southeast Asia. We have even been able to bring the revolution to the far icy reaches of outer Manchuria, and our forces were able to liberate the Japanese workers from the chains of their tyrannical empire. It does not end here. China's reinvigorated strength, China's glorious history, and China's prestige call for it to play an even bigger role in the world. Only China is capable of bringing together the vast Asian people under the banner of Pan-Asian anti-imperialism, and does not stop there. We have created a zone of security stretching from Honolulu to Melbourne and covering every nation from the Pacific Island chains to India. Let the world see and rejoice, for the nightmare and darkness of imperialism has faded away, and the white sun of the East rises forth, shining all over the world under its brilliance forevermore. Thanks for playing the LKMT. We hope you had fun. Suzua and Chiang Kai-shek. And that's a wrap for the game. Might as well be. China's story is now over. I have done every focus I can. Yeah, except for this one, but there is no real way to get that one. It's next to impossible. The only way, it can only be done on independent countries, which I find odd. So the end result is that all these puppets, despite being socialists, and several of them not even being my own puppets, cannot be invested into. So, and it has to be African countries, so it can't be it can't be Argentina. Lack of a better way to put it. Yeah. They would have to find some way to liberate themselves, which is unlikely of all things. So, let's wrap this up. I made a terrible decision. I decided to try giving up the territories after I released the Siberian Republic. I tried giving them up this specific state to Russia, but then I remembered, oh yeah, this stuff's there. I probably would have created a far eastern republic, honestly. Due to some glitchiness with the Dona Adriabun joining on the side of the Reichspakt, yeah. They're still here, but I figured they would be gone at some point. The Ottomans are, well, policy of deterrence. They lean towards that one because, well, I believe they signed the Russo-Ottoman Convention. So they're not able to abolish full neutrality, especially since, well, they have their thing. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, they've already decided their political directions, so that's not going to change. Still this war going on, which I read is winning, surprisingly enough. And this still hasn't ended. Yay. An annoying quantity of totalist countries are around. There's not much you can do about it, but they didn't get that many puppets. So in the end, most countries, the moderate revolution of Denmark. That doesn't sound right. However, most countries are actually radical socialist, from what I can tell. Since, Italy spent most of their time trying to get territory in France. They also have Germany, but Germany's for some reason radical socialist. Ukraine also got the bulk of the gains from the Russian war, since they were already fighting it for a long time. Honestly, I figure the direction that will be taken by the world would be Ukraine finishing off Crimea due to border disputes. And I'm not sure if the Danubian Federation probably sitting around. Not sure if they would be considered strong enough to stick around, but could also be just lack of interest and eventual infighting. Yeah, I managed to claim leadership of the Third Internationale because France lost it after they capitulated and got divided up. Well, mostly granted to San France, but San France died now. Britain had it, but they've been fighting for so long they ran out of manpower, so I was able to claim it. The US has their own issues. I mean, they're pretty much the only syndicalists. Everyone else is either radical socialist or totalist. Oh, there's Switzerland, but they don't really count for much. They don't have any puppets, anyway. So Iberia only has 2 puppets. Tunisia and Algeria. Ukraine has Finland, Poland, the Baltic Union, Georgia, and Russia. The UK has quite a few. Chad, Niger, Ivory Coast, Sweden, Volta, France, of course, Denmark, and Brittany. Ireland is independent but doesn't have any subjects. America has several subjects. Pretty much, if they're in the New World, they're probably an American subject. And some of those subjects are totalists because they themselves... It seems like a lot of them swapped to syndicalists in the meantime. As for my own subjects, South Africa, Madagascar, East Africa, Namibia, Mali, Senegambia, Mauritania, Guinea, Sierra Leone, Morocco, New Zealand, also renamed Eotoria, Malaysia, Philippines, Indochina, Siam, Burma, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Tibet, Mongolia, Japan, the Central Asian Federation, and Siberia. Honestly, surprising the Iberian Union only has 2 subjects. On the other hand, they fully annexed Portugal, so there's really not much else to say about the world. So, they won against imperialism, I guess. With the full backing of the Third Internationale. Seriously, the only stragglers in the world are some nationalist leftovers, the Middle East in general, the Danubian Federation in particular, as well as Serbia and Romania. I don't count these as stragglers, the socialist states of South America, who are a separate group, but are very friendly, probably. As well as Uruguay and Brazil. Yeah. But it's definitely time to end. I'll see you in the next campaign, whatever that may be. Might be M&T. I might decide to do another thing in between. I'm not sure if I feel like doing M&T right now. But I'm not sure what else I could be doing. Maybe a... Could be another one of the Mars games I have. Because I've got 4 different games involving colonizing or terraforming Mars. So... yeah. Some of which could play as a quick campaign, others not so much. Or a quick set of campaigns. At the very least, I do have a Mars thumbnail I can use interchangeably. Quite reasonably, too. It wouldn't be too out of place in any of them. Anyway, I've definitely gone on long enough. I'll see you again next time. Until then.